in Masala Theory. Our host, Yashpal, once again, look at the food, look at the range. So we've got dal, we just finished the curry bombs. You have seen a little bit of the puffed rice there. That's part of that prawn special dish that I love. So we are giving you hints. We can't show you everything because then you guys will start crying from India. Don't want that. We've got the prawn curry, we've got chicken, we've got prawn, we've got paneer, multiple types of roti naan, and of course Mama has insisted that he wants the cinnamon ice cream with motichur laddu for dessert. That's what will come. So what's the subject of discussion today? The subject of discussion has to be how everybody's Diwali was lit up by Virat Kohli and how the Australian papers are only about Virat Kohli. Yashpal, all of these cricketers came to your restaurant yesterday. You met them. By the way, there was Rishabh, there was Surya, there was Bhuvi, there was Yuzi Chahal. All of them came to Yashpal's restaurant yesterday. But even all of them were also talking about Virat when I think Devashish spoke to them. How important was that knock from the perspective of Diwali?
I think it was a very important knock, because like any other, we saw in the Asia Cup that if we lose the first match, it's not going to help us go further. So because it's the first match, we have to make sure that it's nicely done, and the win was very important for the team. Now when it comes to Diwali, again, if India had lost that match, a lot of billion fans would have been sad, and the Diwali would have not been special. But because of Virat's knock and the win, it was a very super special Diwali.
I mean, coming to you, when we went to Bowral, even the talk in the car, was about Virat Kohli. When Norman took me to Neil Harvey was speaking to me about Virat Kohli. Doug Walter spoke to us about Virat Kohli. Michael Clark spoke to us about Virat Kohli. Thoughts on that?
It's really in this innings we need from Kohli, and the entire world is seeking this kind of a knock. And Virat Kohli shows that in Asia Cup last inning he scored against Afghanistan, and then he shows that what kind of a potential he had. He is like एक कहते हैं हिंदी में दादा प्लेयर है, वो कल उन्होंने दिखा दिया. जिस तरीके से हार्दिक पांड्या को लेकर के चले, and it's phenomenal batting from Virat. But one complaint from Yashpal. दिवाली हो गई, सबका मुंह मीठा हो गया, यशपाल मेरा मुंह मीठा नहीं हुआ.
आप सब आज मीठा होगा, गारंटीड.
देखिए यशपाल कंप्लेन करने मत दो क्योंकि आया नहीं था, दोष उसका है.
मैं बाय रोड जर्नी करके आया था, लेकिन यशपाल ने वादा किया है, हमारी दोस्ती है कई अरसे से, और आज बोला है कि आपको डबल का मीठा मिलेगा, पाकिस्तान की जीत का मीठा भी मिलेगा, और नेदरलैंड के सामने हम जीतेंगे उसका एडवांस में मैं आपको मिठाई खिला दूंगा, और दिवाली की मिठाई तो आइसिंग ऑन द केक है.
ओके Devashish, how was the...
First, I would like to show you the face of Norman because he could hardly understand what Amit was saying.
I think he said I'm good looking.
What was Amit saying?
No jokes, Devashish. How did Bradman teach you, bless you with batting?
It was a wonderful experience going to the Bradman Oval, and we must all thank Norman.
No, but you were shadow batting and asking for Sir Donald's blessings.
That was jokes about, but coming back to Virat, Buryada, having watched him train today at the practice session, he scored that all-important 82 runs, paving the way for an outstanding Indian win, but still, he looked the man on a mission. He was the first to go into the nets. He had a throwdown for a long time with video analyst Hari Prasad. Then he walked to the second net where he again took some throwdowns for a good 20 minutes in front of Nuwan, Raghavendra and Vikram Rathore. And then he walked into the third net where he batted against Harshal Patel and Mohammad Siraj and Yuzvendra Chahal and Ravi Chandran. So you can see that Virat is looking a man on a mission.
Quick question, Devashish. You had a very special position inside the ground. How was it? I mean, all of us were in the galleries. You watched it from closest in that sense. How was it from watching Virat from inside the ground from the photojournalist position?
Absolutely, he looks a lot more refreshed, recharged after that break, because ever since he came back from the break, he was in form in the Asia Cup where he scored that brilliant 100 against Afghanistan, and he got back his mojo back. If I put it this way, he got back, and that augurs well for the Indian team. and that augurs well for the Indian team going into the tournament.
Okay. Norman, you know, all of the Australian papers, and you've been doing these reports for us regularly, all of the Australian papers have been about Virat Kohli. Your thoughts on Virat?
Well, the papers say it all. A masterclass for the Australian batters to actually follow as a lead. So they're actually Ben Horns, the Daniel Breddings, and Malcolm Cons all reiterated the fact of a masterclass of a man of the ages. He has shown to the Australian batters how to bat in those conditions. A World Cup needs a Virat Kohli, not just for India, but for the whole World Cup. Sensational. The papers glorify him, they applaud him, they laud all over him. It's quite impressive. And I think even Rapakshi, in your experience, they talked highly about Virat, didn't they?
Yeah, they didn't had any topic of the Virat Kohli, and it's very surprising thing because Virat Kohli was the real king of the match, and a Australian newspaper didn't even had a single paragraph of discussion over Virat Kohli. So very disappointing, Norman.
It certainly
Yeah,
was.
they should actually mention whosoever win, especially when it's happening in Australia.
Very good point. The very early papers that were released, especially in Sydney for some reason, were very light on about Kohli. In fact, there was no mention of it. But by the next day, the
It's all
overwhelming...
about Kohli.
Yeah, it was all about Virat Kohli. There was nothing else but Virat Kohli.
He's absolutely right, Norman. In fact, day one, when we landed, the early papers did not have Virat. But then today, it was all about the genius of Virat Kohli. Yashpal, back to you. Suppose India will win against the Netherlands. Any further special plans? Are you getting Virat to your restaurant as well?
I would love to have him, and if Virat is listening to it, we are waiting for you. Please come soon.
भारतीय टीम के साथ तड़का है और मसाला कहाँ से मिलता है भाई?
देखिए वैलिड पॉइंट है, इंडिया की इस टीम में तड़का भी है, मसाला भी है, और वो मसाला कहाँ से आता है? इस मसाला थियरी से आता है और यहाँ से आता है। तो आपको भी अगर तड़का और मसालेदार खाना खाना है, आइए, हम तो आए हैं, भाई हमारा भाई ने बुलाया है, हम तो आए हैं, आते रहेंगे, आप लोग भी आइए, तमाम जितने फैंस हैं, तमाम जो भारतीय टीम को चाहते हैं, भारतीय टीम की जीत की खुशी मनाना चाहते हैं, आने वाले दिनों में और सी जीत होगी, आए हैं सिडनी में, यहाँ आइए, मसाला थियरी में आइए, आपको मैं कह रहा हूँ घर का खाना भूल जाएंगे भाई साहब।
Absolutely, और मामा के साथ cinnamon ice cream और लड्डू. That's an added incentive. Keep watching.